Happy New Year! This is our first episode of Eastwood Village Market Update in the year of 2023. Well, for our January market update, we're going to talk about what's going on in Eastwood Village the last year. Instead of just looking at the one single month of December, I'm going to show you for the whole 12 months in 2022. How does that compare to the year before? Let's jump right in. Regina Chen, I'm your local real estate agent right here in Irvine, California. In this episode, we're going to look at the last year, 2022, Eastwood Village. How is the real estate doing? It's like a recap and compared to the year ago. And meanwhile, I want to say Happy New Year. Now, also, we are in the new year of calendar year 2023. We're also approaching Lunar New Year, which is the year of Rabbit this year. So I prepared a special layout for you. Let's take a look. Here we are. It's a special edition of the market update with the Lunar New Year theme, the year of rabbit. Okay, if you've been watching our market update, you know we always look at the number break into two buckets. One is attached home, the other is detached home. Let's start with the single family home. So in last year to 2022, the average sales price for single family home is averaged at $2.14 million, which is a 25% higher than 2021. That's very steep, very strong price increase. Sales versus list price ratio. That means that in order to buy a single family home in Eastwood last year, you would expect to pay 4% higher than the list price in order to get your offer accepted. Compared to 2021, on average, the single family home buyer in Eastwood Village expect to pay 1% over asking. Average days on market, just to show you how fast home moves, home gets sold. It's only 17 days for single family home. And compared to 2021, that's 25 days. Either numbers are very short, very fast. If we put things into a historical speaking, that's pretty short. Reflecting a very hot market. But the days are even shorter in last year compared to a year ago. Average price per square footage for single family home 2022 is $765. For that number a year ago in 2021, it's below $600. That's again a 28% increase. It's very steep, very rapid within just 1 year. Number of homes sold in 2022, there are totally 27 single family homes sold. The number seems to hold flat. Actually, overall, no matter pre-COVID, during COVID, Eastwood Village has always been a highly desirable community for a central location, good school, and if you want to go to like Northwood High School, you have limited choice in terms of the home if you want a new build, newer home. All right, so that's the single family home side. Let's switch gear to attached home side. So attached home in 2022, the average sales price is $1.39 million. Compared to a year ago, it's a 17% increase. The sales to list price ratio is 3%, meaning that 2022, you could expect that you'll pay 3% over list price in order to buy a attached home in Eastwood. Average days on market is 15 days, again, super short. That's only around 2 weeks, and it's comparable to the year ago as 17 days on market. Average price per square footage is also $763. It's comparable to the single family's average unit price. Home sold, 2022, there are 36 attached homes sold in Eastwood Village, which is a drop compared to a year ago. The reason number is lower, 10 home less, is not because that less people want to buy condo. It's actually the opposite situation, that they weren't enough home, not enough seller willing to put on their property on the market. So that's on an annual view perspective. Look at the whole year, 2022, compared to a year ago. Since I have you on the video, I also want to show you, we're recording on January 14th, just to show you what does it look like a snapshot as of today, that what are the active listings, what does that look like? All right, so right now, again, as usual, I take you behind the scene. We're inside the MLS database. So for this month, I want to show you what's going on in Eastwood. You see those all different dots. The green one means the active listing, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 active listings. The red one is been closed, that's red. The one coded in blue means right now they're in escrow. So we don't know much detail what price they're closed at, but just wanted to show you. We can look at it in the list view too. Okay, so we see on the map, we know that the A means active, U means under contract, S means sold. We already see that, the 4 green dots, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, there's one sold, I'm sorry, the sold one is an Allen for 109. That's a 4-bedroom single family home, over 2,600 square feet. I don't know if you recall about this one. It's actually been on the market for a while. I actually covered that in my previous market report. I want to show you what they start list at and what they end up closing at. So the total days on market is about 6 months. I know initially they were renter occupied. That's one reason you see a very long period of time days on market. And second point is that initially they're priced much list very high. Let's take a look. So here is Allen Ford. I want to show you their original list at almost 2 million. But I do understand that 6 months ago, maybe the seller's still looking bad. Look at all the other neighbors selling. That's right before, actually, I remember I mentioned that second half of the year, that's when we start to see the mortgage rates start to rise rapidly. And that has a huge impact in terms of on buyer's side, because they make it a home, the same price will become less affordable because the monthly payment almost, the interest rate almost doubled. At the beginning of the year, we started with like 3%, and toward the year end, it's over 7%. So it's very drastic change. It's pretty common. I guess that's what my point is. Initially, when you list your house right at the cusp when things are changing, you're gonna see a huge price adjustment. So in Allen Ford's case, they list at 2 million. They ended up close it at 1.92. Obviously, there's a lot of more factor into how you price your home. I just want to show you, that's our latest data point. The price per square footage for this is a single family home. They sold at $716. If you look at, recall earlier on this video, I was showing you that no matter it's for a single family home or detached, attached home, they're all around $760. So just want to give you a more updated information. Right now, the latest closing price per unit price is $716. I also want to share with you the other one. We just see that blue dot. That's the one right now in escrow. 115 Frontier. It's a 4-bedroom single family home. Oh, it's bigger than Allen Ford. 3,400 square feet. They were listed at 2.5. At that price, the price per square footage is $734. So we'll continue to track it, and I'll report back to you because I think that's a very valued data point for all those sellers, for those active listing, or for any homeowner. You considering selling your home, you need to be always in touch with the latest market development, because we do see that. My points being all the 4 active list price. Gulfstream, Outpost, Parakeet, Pewter. If you look at their list price, the bottom 3, they're all above $800, which is way higher than last year's annual average. And it's $783, all above that $760 number we just saw for 2022. What's the average price point? Again, it's just like a very high level. I get the feeling these numbers are too high. My guess will be the sellers only looking at the previous transaction number, but they didn't try to put themselves in the buyer's shoes, buyer's seat, that when the price is the same, when the mortgage rate increase a lot, it feels it's not the same. The same $2 million home doesn't feel the same for buyer because the interest rates, a lot of more pressure on them. So they become more cautious and will be more picky when they write any offer, or even when they do inspection. Most buyer gets more nervous. That potentially be a reason why nowadays, remember, if you recall that on average last year, it's like a 2 week, 3 weeks days on market. Now the number become much longer. Then again, it's a more like broad brush approach, very high level. Every home is different, but I just want to gauge that to try to show you how I see the market on the high level. the list price shows way higher than what the recent market closing, the sales comparable been telling us. I think there's some correlation why these listings stay on market for a longer period of time. Here, I want to share something else from a different perspective, but kind of reinforce the point I'm trying to make. So here we're looking at, you see all those cross, meaning those cancel listing, meaning that at some point they were on the market, but they for some reason decided they don't want to list it, they don't want to sell it anymore. There are some the hold status and withdrawal. The withdrawal meaning that they're still within the contract period, they're not altogether canceling. They're not saying we're not going to sell. Period. They just want to take it off the market. Right now, they're not showing for whatever reason. So I want to show you that right now, at this point, we have a listing is off market. They are not actively listing on the market. Why? Let's take a look. So there are Fishes being on the market for 25 days and cancel, and Fisher 16 days, 10 days. And we'll look at the time when they pull that trigger, say they want to take it off the market. My observation or my guesstimate, educated guess is that I think all the seller, after when they get on the market, they probably had pretty high expectation, didn't factor in or realize market is changing rapidly. So they have certain expectation, and by the time it's year end, it's like holiday season, they feel like if I don't get the price I want, or they don't think that's a good timing to sell, so they take it off the market. I want to show that it could be a seasonality reason. And I will majority, I think it has a lot to do with the pricing. Even for our listing, we do experience that, especially for Q3, Q4. It's the showing is there, showing traffic is there, but buyers very nervous. They're trying to digest that most recent rapid rate increase. So we don't get the days on market. It's across the board for everybody. We see that it takes longer to sell and buyers very cautious. So that's why we see that a lot of listing in Eastwood is following the same trend. They take it on the market, the seller feels like if I don't get the price, maybe it's not a good time. The good news is we do see that interest rate has come up from the 7% down to 6%. Actually, we see a lot of favorable, if you have good credit, good income, we will be able to find you like mid to high 5% interest rate. So definitely right after New Year's Eve, we see that not only the showing activity is going up, we see that it's more offer coming in. The reason I'm bringing this one up is that I want to tell all the homeowner there who is potentially considering selling in this year, 2023. I strongly recommend that you want to get on the market in springtime to capture that seasonality. And again, like I mentioned, every family situation is different. Every home, every property's condition, location, upgrade, they're all different. What I'm saying is that if you think about selling your home in this year, let's talk. Let me do a personalized analysis, and I'll give you my honest opinion. I would not just look at those active listings. Well, you can mark my words. Personally, I think that even with the buyers more active, more willing to write an offer, I still think that the price, just based on what we see the most recent closing comparable, it's on the higher side. There is way your home will be able to get sold still. I can show you our recent listing, how we do that. But I also want to give you the most updated, realistic expectation. We have to be honest with where the market is at and what market buyer is telling us. So I'm Regina Chen, your local real estate agent right here in Irvine, California. If you had any thoughts about selling this year, let's talk. I really strongly recommend that if you want to sell your home this year, you definitely want to capture the spring market. I will see you in the next video.